Chapter 52. A Stay in Vanity Fair. They now took leave of him, and went on their way, when they met with all kinds of frights and fears, till they came to a place which bore the name of Vanity Fair. There they went to the house of Mr. Monasson, who said to his guests, "If there be a thing that you stand in need of, do but say so, and we will do what we can to get it for you." "Well then," said they, "we should like much to see some of the good folk in this town." So Mr. Monasson gave a stamp with his foot, at which Grace came up, and he sent her to fetch some of his friends who were in the house, and they all sat down to a meal. Then said Mr. Monasson, as he held out his hand to point to Christiana, "My friends, I have guests here who are on their way to Zion. But who do you think this is? This is the wife of Christian, whom, with his friend Faithful, the men of this town did treat so ill." "Well," said they, "so who would have thought to meet Christiana at this place? May the King whom you love and serve bring you where he is in peace." They then told her that the blood of Faithful had lain like a load on their hearts, and that, since they had burnt him, no more men had been sent to the stake at Vanity Fair. In those days, said they, good men could not walk the streets, but now they can show their heads. Christiana and her sons and Mercy made this place their home for some years, and in course of time Mr. Monasson, who had a wife and 2 girls, gave his firstborn, whose name was Grace, to Samuel to wife, and Martha to Joseph. Now one day a huge snake came out of the woods and slew some of the folk of the town. None of these were so bold as to dare to face him, but all fled when they heard that he came near, for he took off the babes by scores. But Greatheart and the rest of the men who were at Mr. Monasson's house made up their minds to kill this snake, and so rid the town of him. So they went forth to meet him, and at first the snake did not seem to heed them, but as they were strong men-at-arms, they drove him back. Then they lay in wait for him, and fell on him, till at last they knew he must die of his wounds. By this deed Mr. Greatheart and the rest won the goodwill of the whole town.